So, if you remember me talking about it a few months back, I said I might be another boat that I would get to restore. Long story short, there was a gentleman here at my marina that lost his boat off the coast of New Jersey, Long Beach Island. Keel snapped off, boat went down, and the marina decided, and I wholeheartedly agree with them, that this gentleman should get a chance at the boat. So anyway, I want to show it to you. The cool thing is I'm helping him restore it. What's going on, people? Man, well, it's been a long winter. As you guys remember, last year I bought my first boat, SV Artemis, 1985 Catalina 30 tall rig. It's been a long winter with a lot of boat projects, but man, did we have some fun. Anyway, it's time to start enjoying the water. Now, don't worry, we're not going to lose focus on this channel. I just want to tell you that it's time for season 3, time to start moving forward with a lot more fun on the water. But we do still have a ton of boat projects coming at you. So if you're new to sailing or want to just follow me on my adventures, I implore you to smash that like and subscribe. And man, I hope you guys really enjoy these videos. What's going on, guys? So, if you remember me talking about it a few months back, I said I might be another boat that I would get to restore. Long story short, there was a gentleman here at my marina that lost his boat off the coast of New Jersey, Long Beach Island. Keel snapped off, boat went down, and the marina decided, and I wholeheartedly agree with them, that this gentleman should get a chance at the boat.
Recently I was a part of a difficult case, a nighttime case. There was 2 mariners aboard a sailboat. They hadn't done anything wrong. This wasn't that they got themselves in trouble. Their boat simply broke in bad weather conditions.
It wasn't forecast. None of this was forecast to be a third of the intensity that it was. The waves were going over the boat entirely. At one point we got hit with such a big one, it actually tossed me, and I felt the steering snap at that point.
It's like inside the cabin of the boat getting like tossed back and forth because we have absolutely no steering.
Oh, yeah.
And in this time, he calls the Coast Guard.
U.S. Coast Guard, do you read me?
The initial call that we got is that there was a vessel that was aground and being pounded by the surf, and these people were in immediate distress.
Each wave, you would feel the boat get like lifted slightly and then just hit again and again. And at this point, we call the Coast Guard again and we're like, we're not moving.
My position is 39.
As I made my way to the command center, the last word I got was that they were possibly going to abandon ship. And with the weather conditions as they were, it was essentially a nor'easter or like a wintertime tropical storm is what it felt like. That really increased the urgency for us to get out. We were airborne in 18 minutes.
Yeah, they were definitely fast, and I'm thankful for it.
When we arrived on scene to where we believed they were, it was very difficult to see anything. Thankfully, we had communications with them on the radio. They explained that their situation was dire, and we were able to quickly expedite our operations and deliver the rescue swimmer.
My cousin saw a video of us being airlifted, and she's like, oh my God, isn't that scary? And I'm like, actually, that's the least scary part, because the Coast Guard has gotten there, and you know that you're safe in that moment.
It's a really humbling feeling to be rescuing somebody from those bad conditions, to get them back. And nothing feels better than when you get the high five or the handshake or sometimes a hug saying, you know, thank you, I don't know if I'd be here without you.
So anyway, I want to show it to you. The cool thing is I'm helping him restore it. That's more or less the only reason I wanted it. It was really another project, and I'm still looking for one for myself for the winter. So if any of you guys know anything in the New York area that's worth restoring, please let me know, and I would definitely be interested. So anyway, I want to show it to you. This right here it's a 1978 38-foot Pearson. The gentleman who had this, now this has been on the hard now for some time, redid the bottom. He fixed all the blisters. So what you're looking at here right now is all the blister repair. The problem I'm having here today is the tape that you're seeing all over the floor has been on this boat for years. And there's all sorts of different tape. You've got some Scotch tape here. You've got some shrink wrap tape down there. You've got some, whatever that is, that's like Gorilla Tape. You've got duct tape. But all in all, the hull's in great shape. I mean, she's beautiful. It's got a nice bow pulpit there. In great shape. And today, basically what we're doing is we are taking all the tape off. In about a minute, I'm gonna do, the gentleman who now owns the boat just went to get a couple cans of Goof Off, or Goo Gone, and we are going to cover the hull and give it a little bit of time, and then come back and just give her a scrape. Again, skeg hung rudder, full keel, motor's in decent shape. We're gonna have to put a fuel tank in it. She's pretty gorgeous. A little sad that I wasn't able to get it, but at least I get to do the work on it with him, which is something that I absolutely love doing. We got to put one through hull in as well, right there. You can see a little 1-incher, which is the intake for the motor. But yeah, see if I can't get back and give you a decent view of it, and I'll try to get some photos today of us finishing. I didn't really record much on this because it's not my boat, but I'm gonna probably start recording a lot more as we do more work to it. So again, this is the hull. The interior's decent, needs to be cleaned, needs a lot of teak work. We need to re-rig it, we need to get the stanchions on it. The deck seems pretty solid and dry. The hull, as you can see, has been cared for and was done, I don't want to say professionally, but done well. All the glass work seems pretty solid. Again, we're going to clean it. We're going to give it a coat of barrier, or 2 coats of barrier. We're going to bottom paint it with the Rust-Oleum, which is holding up awesome, by the way. Let me go show you his rig, which happens to be all the way over there. So I'm going to take a walk because there's really no more scraping I can do until we get the Goof Off on here. Winches are in great shape. Steering's in great shape. You can actually see from the rudder, we've got really no wiggle. I mean, I'm pushing on this thing pretty hard to get it to go like that. The steering's in great shape. We'll go and tighten that all up though. It does need some scupper work. And the funny thing is the scuppers are all the way back here from there. There's a hose that runs all the way there. This entire, if you know Pearson's, the entire aft portion of the boat is all open for work, which is nice. So, all right, let's go take a gander at his rig. Prop apparently is in the boat. We'll find out. But yeah, I'm pretty excited that I'm going to be given the opportunity to work on the boat. You guys know I love that stuff. So hopefully we have a whole bunch more boat projects coming to you that you can follow along on. And we're going to start adding a whole bunch more sailing. I know I keep saying that, but I just keep doing more boat stuff. But now with the autopilot, we had a good time with it the other day. My rig was not balanced or trimmed right, so I was creeping a little bit, and we were also out in probably meter and a half seas with my entire family, and my wife does not really like it rough, and I didn't want to spook her anymore, so we came back in before I could really record. But let me come over here and show you his rig and how amazing all of the standing rigging is. I mean, it is perfect. The boat also came with a slew of lines, fenders, sails, six bags of sail. All right, so here's his rig. This is obviously the forestay. I mean, but like all of this is just mint. It's an old boat. It's a 78, but I mean, a little bit of corrosion there. But that should be his backstay. Mainstays look brand new, no issues. Well, this block maybe needs to be replaced. Pins are good. This is just dirty. Let's see here. We got his. We're gonna probably redo that, but she's a big girl. The shrouds are great. I mean, look at this. We're missing his stays. We got to find the stays. Not the stays. His spreaders. But I mean, the shrouds look like they're brand new. I mean, again, this has been sitting here now for years and years and years. I don't know how well this furler works, but that's weird. We'll find out. Seems to move freely. Nothing's going crazy inside there. But yeah, I mean, he's missing a turnbuckle or two here and there, but these all look mint. I mean, really great shape. So that is a plus. Let's see, That's gonna have to get some attention, but not bad all in all. I believe he's gonna name her Phoenix, as his last boat was named Freebird. Went down, I think it's a fitting name, the Phoenix. A rebirth for him with this boat. Sorry, I'm bending down. I just got stung by a bee. I'm not having luck in here today. Getting bit by all sorts of weird bugs. And I definitely just got stung by something on my ankle. But yeah, the Phoenix. And he's got a lot of artist friends that are going to paint the whole top side of the boat with a giant Phoenix, which is kind of cool. But we do have a lot of work here, and he'd like to be floated before the end of the season. It's going to be tough, but if we can make it happen, we're going to make it happen. And yeah, hopefully you are interested in some of these. I know it's not Catalina, but hey, we got to branch out, and Pearson's a great boat. And this was, if he didn't take it, this would have been mine. I don't know if I would have kept it, or I would have put it in Florida, or I would have sold it to someone down the line. I don't know, maybe I would have replaced Artemis. Probably not, because all my blood, sweat, and tears isn't Artemis, but this would have been a fun project boat, or as a second boat. I feel like my boat, the Catalina 30, even though this is a Pearson 38, I feel like the Catalina 30 actually has more room inside. And I'll show you this later. I'm not sure if it'll be today or in this episode, but when you come down the stairs through the companionway, it's blocked off. So right where the companionway is, right there, there's nothing backwards. There's no aft cabin, there's no quarter berth, there's nothing. It's empty space, engine room, etc. So you have your galley right there. You have a couple of settees, nothing big, and then you have a decent size forward berth and a decent size head. But I do feel as if the Catalina is a much larger boat for its size. You know, this might be 8 feet longer, but you're losing, you know, 10 to 12 feet to nothing in the back, except for your motor and a whole bunch of plumbing and fuel tank. So in reality, it is a 28-foot boat, if that makes sense. If it's 38 and you're losing 10, maybe 12 feet, let's just say 10, it's a 28-footer from the companionway on. And Catalina's 30. So who knows, but it is a beautiful boat. And again, this is a blue water boat all day long, if you ask me. Just from the full keel, skeg hung rudder, she's well equipped, heavy. I actually thought this was a really cool feature while we're looking at the boat. It has on the keel an actual drain plug. I just reached in there, get a little diesel smell in there, but that's because there's some work going with the fuel lines. So you do have the ability to drain the keel on this boat, which is very, very cool. Anyway, I will put some clips after this of us just spraying it with the goof off, and you'll see how easy we can literally just go and pull all the glue off of this thing. And hopefully in the next couple days we'll be doing the barrier coat, the through hull, and the bottom job. Once that's done, we're going to move up. We're going to get the stanchions on, lifelines, clear out the cockpit, clear out the cabin, because there's, like I said, sails and everything. Get all the parts we need for the outside, get them on, get her stepped. We're going to need to get some turnbuckles, and then get the motor started. Now he's got a small tank that we're going to replace the existing tank because there are leaks in it. I think he only has a 10-gallon, but he's not going blue water with this just now. And it's so large in this area that we can definitely fit a bigger tank when needed, or a secondary tank. So I'll get the tank in for him. I'm gonna have to run some new lines. I'm probably gonna go with barrier instead of going with copper. I love the barrier line that Napa puts out. I use it on all my generators. The stuff lasts forever. And then he can get this down to his buddies in Brooklyn that has a shipyard, and they can do a bit more work, unless he's gonna be gracious enough to allow me to do the work with him. I know that sounds crazy, but I do love this stuff. Minor electrical work. Motor runs, we know that for sure. It was done before he took the boat. We had it looked at, and we know it definitely runs. I'm trying to think of what else. The cutlass bearing, I believe last time I looked, is perfect. This needs some attention. We're missing some screws on the strut, but all in all, shouldn't be too bad. All right, so we're just using regular goo gun. You guys, if you've watched that one episode where I cleaned the rail chairs, pedestal seats, or whatever you call them, So what we did was we sprayed it on and then wrapped it with saran wrap and let it sit for about an hour. Unfortunately, we're not going to be wrapping this whole boat in saran wrap, so we're going to give it really generous amount, and then we're going to scrape, and if we have to do it again tomorrow, we can, but we'll get most of the glue off with it. It's just it's a waiting game. You have to wait. You just don't put this on and then scrape. Even in 20 minutes, you're going to give it at least 45 minutes of just sitting. And the good thing is, if you're doing your entire hull, like we're doing here, you can see the dripping. It's gonna drip down, and it's gonna coat more things, so just be generous. I told him to get at least 2 bottles. This is a test, and that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna do the full 2 bottles on both sides, and then go over the entire thing with the putty knives that we have. And I will bet that 90% of this is gonna come right off. So let me put you down, get spraying on here, and then we'll take a look in about 45 minutes. So you just spray it nice and generously, and then you're gonna let it sit. And you can also take your putty knife and scrape it back up to the heavier soiled areas. That's what I was just doing on the other side. You just, as it drips, just take the putty knife and put it right back on. And you give it a scrape or two to see how it's doing. But that's pretty much all you gotta do here. You can see Adam doing an amazing job. So the trick, most of the time, is let it sit with some sort of plastic on top for about an hour. But we're losing daylight, so we're doing it. But this is how it comes off. It's like putty. And yeah, this is a great trick to use. If you can cover it with something, like if you have a lot of cling wrap and it's not a big area, just cling wrap it. But if not, spray it on, let it sit. What I was also doing was basically taking the old stuff and bringing it back up and letting it sit with the putty knife. But if you can't do that, just keep spraying it on. Don't let it dry though, and it just scrapes right off. Well, all right, so we our arms are jelly now, but look at the difference here now. Hopefully this shows up on the camera. All the glue, well, I'd say 90% of all the glue is gone. Again, all this is just fiberglass work. Guy before him did a lot of blisters, so we still have a little bit here and here, but the whole boat was covered in this. So we only had 2 bottles. This was thick. We only had 2 bottles of Goo Gone. We're gonna probably need another 2. A little bit more patience, but we'll get the next ones done. Get some glue still here, but I mean, everything's pretty awesome. That's duct tape down there. I don't know how we're gonna get that off because it doesn't want to budge. But yeah, so next step will be to hit it one more time. But the day we do that, we're also gonna rinse it and acetone, and then also give it a rough sanding with probably 60 grit, a very fast one, just to give it some scratch for the barrier coat. Get 1 coat of barrier coat on, let it dry, put another coat on the next day. So it's a busy day, but 2 of us are making very fast work of this. Again, we'll do a little bit more spot treatment, give it a good sanding, not good, but a quick scratch, give it a wash, acetone, barrier coat, 2 coats that day, and this boat's going to start coming back together. She is alive. Also, next time I'll try to get some footage of the interior if possible, and yeah, show you what the Pearson's all about. Again, I still think the Catalina's bigger on the inside, but it is what it is. This thing is going to cross oceans, and I am not. Anyway, thanks for tuning in this week, and that's Adam. Those are the clips that we're going to show you in the beginning, if I put them in there and figure it out, of him being helicoptered off his other boat. So this is a really cool project for the Phoenix, to rebirth the boat. Ciao guys.